Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, we're brothers, we read comics.
Yes, we do, Daniel. We absolutely do. I don't know.
We got time codes in our description, we got different segments, we got the book, which is Avatar, The Last Airbender, The Promise.
Part 1.
Part 1.
Through 3 is what we decided to read.
So it's just The Promise then.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
We got Back Matter Matters. I didn't expect Back Matter in this, but we got some, which is cool.
We did?
Yeah, you didn't get there?
No, because I already fucking bought part 1 when you were like, oh, we should probably do all 3 parts. And then it was fucking more expensive to buy the full thing fucking together. And so I bought part 1, part 2, and part 3 together and spent more money than I would have spent if we had just decided to do the full thing later.
Do you want me to send you money or something?
Yes.
How much was all the parts?
$500.
I don't think so.
That's so. It was on the opposite of a sale. It was on a markup.
It's a markup. All right.
Yeah.
We got the poll list, but we start with the news.
Yeah, some spicy news. So tune in for the news.
Spicy news? I don't know of any spicy news.
Daniel, it's only spicy because I'm speculating.
Okay.
But let's save that for last because I don't have, I don't know where it is on my phone yet. Hold on.
Big rest in peace to Carl Weathers.
I know, dude.
Yeah, he died just last week from when we were recording this, which is a super bummer. That guy was the GOAT.
I never realized that it was his arm in the meme with Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I knew that he was in, that never connected in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I saw like memes of people honoring like his death or whatever. And it's like people like who love memes, and it's like people who love Carl Weathers, and it's like in the middle or whatever. But like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, super super tragic. I guess he died peacefully in his sleep. He was 76, I believe. But yeah,
too young.
He's a legend in his own right.
Yeah, he was like one of the best parts of the Mandalorian.
Best parts of the Mando. Best parts of Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Chubbs.
It's Chubbs. Yeah.
Chubbs. Yeah.
And Predator, of course, and obviously Rocky.
Was he Mr. Creed?
He was Apollo Creed. He's Creed's dad.
Was Creed always in Rocky, or was he in like one of the sequels?
I think he was in like 1 through 4.
So
I haven't watched it.
So he was in one?
I think so.
Okay.
He was like his buddy, I think.
Okay. Very cool.
I haven't watched any of those because I'm young, I guess. I don't know. I watched all the Creed movies for some reason, but none of the Rocky ones.
Yeah, because those are for young guys.
I've seen Rocky Balboa, like the 6th one or something.
I think it was just on
where he's
our Nana's house, maybe.
Something like that. I watched it with mom and dad, and it was like the new one at the time. And it was like when he has his comeback when he's old or whatever.
Okay, yeah. He's like, I could still do this.
Yeah. Still got fighting me. Yeah.
He's punched me real hard in the face, coach.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was a bummer. And so,
yeah, big rest in peace.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Scotty Young, Jorge Corona. You might know them as the team from Middle West, or maybe the Me You Love in the Dark. They're starting a new book called Ain't No Grave. Bit of a double negative there. I'm sure they realize that, though. It's probably purposeful.
So there is a grave.
There is a grave, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no grave. And it's a Western comic coming from Image Comics in May. And it's going to have that creative team. So Scotty Young, Jorge Corona, Jean-Francois Bellou, who colors I Hate Fairyland.
Nice. And
then letter Nate Picos. So it's pretty cool.
Sweet. We love Nate Picos.
I do love some of his lettering. So yeah, it's cool. There's not enough Westerns, you know? Like it used to be such a big comic genre, I feel like.
The last Western I remember is like Pulp.
Yeah, Pulp. And people love Pulp. It won an award, I think.
Yeah.
So
give people what they want. Give them some Pulp.
Give them some Pulp. That's what I'm saying. Also, Daniel, Ultimate Black Panther #1 sells out even prior to its release, so it's already getting a second printing on the way. So that's cool. That's the one written by Brian Edward Hill with art by somebody that this article didn't post. So,
you know, I went to the shop to get Ultimate Spider-Man and they were sold out of that.
Really?
So, yeah, I couldn't even get that.
Dude, a lot of shops ordered a lot.
Really?
I've even seen pictures of Ultimate Spider-Man like on the expensive like wall, you know?
Maybe I was looking at the Spider-Man stuff, and if you don't put it by the Spider-Man stuff, I don't know what you're doing. But surely they were out.
I think you put it by Spider-Man as far as
there's a lot of Spider-Man titles, but
yeah. Okay, well I can give you my copy.
Cool.
But at least you tried.
I think there's something else that you wanted me to read that they didn't have. But anyway, Nathan, Sweet Tooth. The show gets renewed for a 3rd season.
Oh, sweet. I forgot the 2nd season came out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Coming in 2024.
I should.
Which is this year.
Wait, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's soon.
So I guess they might have started working on it or they were working on it not knowing if it was going to be renewed or not. And then they got it. So that's cool.
That's got to be relieving when you're like in the middle of filming and you're like,
oh, thank God.
I hope this comes out.
I doubt they were filming it, but like.
Or at least working on it, yeah.
Did you even finish season 1?
No.
Nah.
Halfway through.
I hope Jeff Lemire hears this.
No, Jeff, I've watched all of it. It's great.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to read the comic first.
Yeah.
The source material.
We did.
Speaking of Jeff Lemire, I think he's part of this. Yes, he is. Daniel, big stinky news.
Is that the one you're talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big stinky news happening. Unless you want me to wait till the end. I'm just going to tell you now.
Just go. I'm out.
Have you heard of Cadence Comic Art?
Yes.
And they are like an art distributor representative thing of people so that they can like so that artists can sell their original works and also do commissions and stuff through their signings. Mm-hmm. Very randomly, I noticed there were a bunch of artists that I follow on Twitter saying that they are no longer represented by Cadence Comic Art.
Same within Instagram,
yeah, all within like a couple days of each other, and a lot of them are just choosing to go independent and not do any sort of art distributor at all. And Daniel, here are some in just the last month, but mainly in the last couple days that have stopped and cut ties with Cadence Comic Art. Okay, there's a big list, but I highlighted the cool ones. Paul Azaceta, Mahmoud Asrar, Ryan Brown, Alessandro Capuzio, he's the guy on Moon Knight, Wes Craig, Tyler Crook, Gavin Guidry, Gabriel Hardman, he's the guy that did Green Lantern Earth 1.
Yeah.
Jeff Lemire, Jesse Lonergan, David Marquez, Jorge Molina, Sarah Pacelli, Declan Shelby, Greg Smallwood, James Stocco, Zoe Thorogood, Pia Guerrera, Joel Jones, Casper Wingard, tons more. Like, this is how big the list is.
So like everybody.
Like pretty much everybody except for like maybe 10 people, and maybe they just haven't like left yet.
Yeah.
And every single fucking one I could find, I went to the comments to see if anybody had the T, and there's no T that has been released yet.
I hear the owner was like taking shit off the top, you know, and then someone caught wind of it or whatever, and then now everyone's just backing out.
Yeah, there are some allegations that there were commission payments that were received that had not been passed on to the artists, so they would just like take money from people and then not tell the artist about it.
Wow.
A lack of transparency regarding what's happening with original art things, and then I remembered, hey, I paid for a Christian Ward art piece like a year ago. I wonder what happened to that.
From Cadence?
From Cadence.
Ooh.
And I emailed Mr. Andrew Wistman, or whatever his name is. And guess what I got, Daniel?
Yeah,
this email does not exist anymore. Address not found. So I replied in the email thread that we had going from March 2023 when he was like, yeah, we should have tracking in the next couple days. And it just says address not found. So this dude dumped his email and... Yeah, screwed over a bunch of people.
Is there other people that you can email from Cadence?
There is a nice little contact page where you can fill out your email and hit submit and hope that they message you back. But the piece is only like $100, I think. So I'm not like...
Still kind of sucks.
It does suck.
Who's that from?
It was a Christian Ward piece from Odyssey, a book that I haven't read.
Right.
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I think all the comic book artists heard that I got screwed over, and they're like, we can't have this. Unacceptable. The future Eisner Award winning podcast and judges of the Eisners are not getting their art pieces.
Yeah.
And they are leaving. So that's pretty crazy. It's like a mass exodus of people.
You think some people would go to like Felix? Because people seem to like Felix. Like,
yeah. I think some people are just kind of like, you know,
over the whole thing.
They're over art vendors and shit in general, which would be understandable. But I think a lot of them will end up going to like Felix because they don't want to update their own websites.
Or just like do eBay.
Yeah.
I see artists do eBay.
I think that's a good route because, like, you know, Steve Lieber does eBay.
Yeah.
And I think that works pretty well for him, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because it's probably expensive to do it on your own website. And if it crashes, then it's like, well, I guess I'm not selling my original art. which could be a big part of people's revenue. So yeah, crazy that all this happened because of me. But yeah, you have to fuck up pretty hard for everybody to leave all at once. I even saw some artists that are like, hey, I'm leaving. I don't know why, but everybody is. So I can't remember who that was, but I followed them because I was like, I love this transparency.
Yeah. I would just like, I would message somebody, be like, hey, I'm an artist too. Do you know what's happening?
Yeah. They would probably just like look at
Why
the
are
list.
you leaving? Be like, I don't know. This person left.
Yeah. Jeff Lemire left.
You
We're
just
homies
follow
actually.
this train of people who don't know. It's like telephone kind of.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't know. Jeff Lemire said he was leaving and we're super tight, but I didn't message him about it.
It just started with that dude, Andrew. He's just kind of a dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So pretty spicy. Yeah. I hope that there's a really big article that comes out because I want to read it.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's all the news I had.
Kind of makes me want to buy original art.
Dude, it could be so addicting. I wish I was rich.
Yeah.
So that I could just buy art.
That's where, rich people got the cool stuff.
I know, dude.
I think I don't even know if I want anything that crazy. Like a cheap page that's just people talking probably. And
I like those too. Yeah. Like,
I'd be like, this has got to be important.
for like a couple months, I would just like look like every week at like Felix, Cadence, all the ones.
I don't think I knew about Cadence just off the top of my head. If you were to ask me,
yeah.
I knew about Felix, but
I think I'm kind of glad Cadence is dying though, because they never filtered out what was sold.
Oh, that's fucking sucks.
And it was really fucking annoying because there would be like hundreds of sold pages and there would be one page in there that like wasn't sold yet and had like a price, but you can't like filter it out. And so you'd have to like scroll through all these pages that are really cool and sold. Yeah, I know. And so I was like, this kind of sucks. But I almost bought like a Tom Riley page once because it was like $200.
Because you don't want to get like your hopes up that you could get this like really cool page that you remember from a book that you read or whatever.
Yeah.
And you click on it, and it's gone. You know.
Exactly.
But anyway, is that all your news today?
That's all my news today.
All right, Nathan. What book did we read this week?
We read Avatar: The Last Airbender, from Nickelodeon, The Promise, part all of the parts.
This is
all of it.
This was distributed by Dark Horse.
Yes. And the script was by Jean Lewin Yang, with art and covers by Guri Hiro and lettering by Michael Heisler.
So on the Dark Horse app, wait, how much did you pay for?
I don't know. It was like maybe $18 total. Yeah.
Okay.
How much is it on Dark Horse?
$7.
$7 a pop?
Yeah. For each part.
That sounds about right, actually.
So it'd be like 21.
I may have paid that.
The omnibus was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Or 15. So I guess could have saved a couple bucks, but sorry about that. I mean,
no, I totally agreed with you. Like, I think that the day that we said that we would do that, I had already read through like half of it. And I was like, nothing's happened yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, this would just be like a terrible episode.
Yeah.
You know, and
like more terrible than all the rest.
Well, terrible, but and also shorter, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, what'd you think, Nathan?
I want to know what you thought before I tell you what I thought.
Nathan didn't like it. So I thought this is a nice read, you know, because, you know, you already have their voices in your head when you're reading it. It was like relatively easy to follow. Like I didn't like go back to the show or anything.
Yeah.
There's just a couple characters I didn't remember, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought they did a good job of, you know, remembering that this medium is like comics and like executing the story as like a comic rather than like a graphic show or whatever.
Right.
And so I thought that was cool. I got my hopes up a little bit with the 5 stars that we saw on Kindle, which is unheard of.
That is interesting.
But it seems to be like a pretty well-regarded one compared to others. So I guess maybe this is one of the better of the Avatar comics. And as like something that is like an adaptation of a show.
Yeah.
Those can be kind of hit or miss. And I think this does a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
But what did you think?
Steaming pile of shit.
You think it's a steaming pile of shit?
No, I'm just kidding. I fucked with this really hezy, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wanted to play a little prank on you.
Ah, you got me. You got me.
I thought this was sick.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I think, your point of it's weird to like kind of adapt from a show and expand on it. I think this is like probably one of the best examples of that being a possibility for like any show.
Yeah, Gene like nailed the writing and like the characterization of these people.
He totally did. And every single panel looked like I just paused the show. Like that's how close it looks. It was a little scary.
It's very good. The only difference I could really notice was like the shape of Aang's head. But other than that, like it was pretty spot on.
I think it gets a little mushy at parts. Yeah.
But it's I don't recommend this to someone who's high off the series finale of the show, since that was such a big bombastic finale.
Yeah,
that going to this might be a little underwhelming.
Yeah, it would be a little bit hard to follow.
But I think it's perfect for what we're doing, that we're revisiting the property after so long, and then like we're just like, oh, it's just more stuff.
It definitely expands on like all right, well, what now? Like he defeats Fire Lord Ozai and it's like, okay, well, shit, I didn't think I'd make it this far. You know, like, what do we do? And I think that's really interesting. There's like a lot of politics in here. The only criticism I have is like right at the end when like everything's happening, there's a lot of perspectives to like keep track of.
I was fucking lost. I was like,
okay, there's like this group who has this opinion. There's Aang who has this opinion. There's Katara who has this opinion. And then it's like these people, this group. All
they know is that they got to fight.
Yeah. All they know is like, oh man, I guess we should just fight right now. Yeah. Even though talking would probably be the best, but that's not interesting. My favorite part is that we got a bar for bar intro of the show.
Yes, sir.
Like the full intro, Earth,
the classic intro,
water, earth, fire, air. Like that's such a cool page, and it's just from the show. It could be from the show, and I wouldn't even know. That's how close this guy is. But yeah, Guru is pretty dope. So, but yeah, let's start with part 1.
That was like the first 80 pages. That's how I kind of split it up. In my notes.
Yep.
And so there's also kind of like a recap page, like the page 6 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's
that is nice.
It's like kind of like what just happened.
It's like, okay,
so you can kind of jump into this.
I was like, okay, that dude's name is Ozai. That's helpful because I couldn't remember.
Yeah, he lost the shirtless fight.
Yeah, he did. He couldn't flex hard enough.
Yeah,
I guess. So Aang beat Fire Lord Ozai, and they have to figure out what the fuck to do next and how do they govern peace. It's kind of like post Return of the Jedi. Is that the 3rd movie?
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, well now what?
Depends on who you ask. It could be the 6th movie,
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, there's a bunch of colonies like all around the world that are like have just been doing war for like 100 years. So how do we make peace again? And I think that's really interesting. But so they come up with a harmony restoration movement, which is a way to get rid of the Fire Nation colonies that have popped up in the Earth Kingdom. Yeah, the art's like super like scary close to the show, and I was like, how do you even replicate like that? Like I know like TV animation, they have to keep like art like relatively simple so that's easy to animate. Yeah. But the level of detail that it goes to make it feel like just a part of the show is really interesting. But they also are really creative with like some of the lettering and stuff that they do as well. So it feels like a comic as well. I think they like nailed that balance.
They have like hours of reference material, if you need Aang at a certain angle, you can find it.
This is true. He also probably watched those commercials in Nickelodeon where they teach you how to draw someone. You remember those?
Oh yeah,
those are so sick.
Yeah, but it came out like ass whenever we did it. I'm like, how did they do it so good?
Yeah. So I think Guru was like 12 or however old we were watching those, and then he's just been working on this ever since.
Who's that dude who did like Fairly Odd Parents? It's like
Butch Hartman.
Whenever he did shit, I'm like, he just drew the character in the show. How does he do that?
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's all like warped and wonky.
And he's like, you just do like a little circle right here, and then like a little line, and then it's like, boom, Danny Phantom,
little bucktooth, yeah.
And it's crazy. So during the announcement of the Harmony Restoration movement, Zuko asks Aang to promise to kill him if he ever starts to act crazy like his father did, because he was like the previous Fire Lord, right? And Aang's like, I mean, I guess. And then it jumps to like a year from now, and Zuko gets attacked by an Earth Kingdom assassin who ends up being the daughter of the mayor of Yu Dao, which is one of the Fire Nation colonies that the movement plans on disbanding. And I don't remember a lot of like specific fight scenes from the show, but was there ever an Earth Kingdom like or Earthbender that would have like a rock on a chain?
A rock on a chain,
because that's what like this assassin has. Yeah, like there's like a rock on a chain, and they bend the rock in the chain. Mm-hmm. Was there ever any one of those? Because I think it's a really cool idea.
I don't recall, but it is cool.
Yeah, I like that this is the weapon. But like really cool action scene as well. Like,
Yeah, no, I always appreciate it when there's action stuff that pops up. They're a little few and far between, but when it does happen, it does feel very familiar.
yeah, fire feels very bright like it does in the show. I feel like they do a really good job with that.
It's a little jarring reading like this property and like this story like in the comic form, because it'll have like captions of what like Aang's thinking, you know,
Yeah.
and we're just not like used to that because it's normally just whatever people were talking about, because they don't have like captions in like the show.
Yeah, they would have to like talk to like Momo or whatever that dude's name was.
Yeah,
the little lemur dude.
To whatever to express like whatever they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Zuko talks to the mayor of Yudao, and he criticizes Zuko for being weak, and that makes Zuko angry. And then Aang later hears that Zuko is canceling his cooperation with the Harmony Restoration Movement. And then we find out that Toph.
Oh my god, you did it again.
I did do it. I don't know, dude. I haven't watched the show in a while. Toph started a metal bending academy with 3 students. And then she like hears Appa in the air and is like, oh, there's Appa. Let me go up there. And she like shoots herself up onto Appa. And I'm like, how did you just do that?
Yeah.
Because you're blind and you can feel the ground, but Appa's in the air. So I don't know. She could have missed.
She could smell him.
I guess.
You know Appa doesn't smell good. Like,
Oh, yeah, but he's like 100 feet in the air. Can you smell anything 100 feet in the air?
she probably can. She's like Daredevil, dude.
Yeah, I guess she is. This is a
Dude.
cooler Daredevil.
Dude, the Fire Nation like soldier armor
So cool.
is so fucking cool. I forgot how
best
cool
part of
they
the
look.
show, yeah.
I know.
I want to print like a mask and helmet like
You
that.
should,
I
dude.
think that'd be
In
really
the shoulder
cool, actually.
pads.
Oh, the shoulder pads, dude.
Ooh.
I don't think anybody's ever pulled off shoulder pads as well as Zuko in like some of these Fire
No shot.
Nation cards.
Yeah. He puts the Power Rangers to shame.
Yeah. Like I know like I think Gambit used to have like shoulder pad looking things like that at some
Lame.
point. Not as cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire Nation was always the coolest.
I mean,
right?
Thanos does.
But he doesn't even look as cool.
Nah.
Aang's doing like a spiritual talk to Avatar Roku.
Yeah.
Who's basically like,
it's like a spirit Zoom call.
yeah. And he's like, I mean, you promised to kill Zuko. So like, I guess you got to do that now. And then when the gang makes it to Yudao, they see freedom fighter protesters led by Smellerbee, who I think is a character in the show that I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And they want the Fire Nation out. Aang flies into the town to try and talk to Zuko, but he fights some of his guards until Zuko pops up and grabs Katara, and that like triggers Aang to go into the Avatar state, but Katara like calms him down. Do you remember the Freedom Fighters?
No.
I don't either.
They like looked familiar, but
The like main kid with like the hair, he looks kind of familiar, but I don't remember anything specific.
yeah. So in this, I don't know if they were like dating in the show, but they're dating in this, like Aang and Katara.
Yeah.
There was like a bit towards the end, right?
I think there's a kiss at the end.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, now that I'm bricked up, I can go fight Ozai. You know? I think it was something like that. But maybe I should have watched
the
less.
edge in order to go into Avatar mode.
Apparently that like that's like supposed to make you like stronger.
Yeah, like peaks your testosterone.
Like boxers aren't supposed to like come at all, like at least 2 weeks before their fight.
There's a
That's like a thing, I guess.
Speaking of Rocky, like there's like a scene.
Was he edging the whole time?
No, there's like a scene that I heard someone talk about where like he's like getting real intimate with this girl for the first time. You know, they're real like attached, but he's like, no, I need all my energy for the fight. Or something like that.
What a lame
and I'm
reason
like,
to get shot down.
That's so crazy.
Oh my god. He's like, no, I need to goon for the fucking fight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so
Yeah, I think it was assumed that like Aang and Katara were like a thing now.
yeah,
You know?
and so they smooch here and there, and they call each other sweetie a lot.
I mean, that's a little bit much.
Do you call
I've never
your
called
lady
Sophie sweetie.
Yeah, Sarah would fucking punch me if I called her sweetie. So
Sometimes I ironically say honey.
honey,
Hi, honey.
how's it going?
But yeah. So I love seeing Aang dice up some dudes.
Like cut them up?
Yeah, like cut them up into pieces.
Yeah.
No, but like the Fire Nation people like try to fight Aang and he's just like jumping over flames and shit.
He's like so calm.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Like,
And also
who
I know
are you to
Yeah, he's
fucking
like-
try?
yeah, like surely they heard.
The Avatar.
They're
you
like,
know?
oh, now's my time. I'll be better than Ozai was.
The guy
you know?
good at everything?
Yeah. Also, I know it's stupid, but for some reason, I've always been okay with firebenders like punching fire out of their fist. But when it comes out of like the bottom of their foot and like shoots out perpendicularly from like the bottom of their foot, I always think that's so stupid.
You think you should come out of their toes?
I think you should come out of their toes. Because like you're pointing, but if you like kick then like with a flat foot and it comes out of the flat part of your foot, I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, that comes out of like the arc of your foot.
Yeah, I'd rather they point their toes like ballet dancers or some shit. Did you ever think about that, or am I crazy?
I get what you mean, and now it's distracting me.
Because like, look at, tell me that doesn't look right.
It does look a little off.
Yeah.
So you want them to point their toes?
I want them to point their toes so elegantly, you know? So once things are like calmed down, Zuko talks about how Yu Dao is like the oldest Fire Nation colony, and the people now work together to like produce metal. And the Harmony Restoration movement would destroy that. They would like separate some people that have lived here for like a century pretty much. So they decide that the Earth Kingdom should be involved in this conversation to see what exceptions to the movement maybe should look like. And so they are like on their way to Earth Kingdom. And then later, Zuko asks for advice from his dad. And we're like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
He's still alive, I guess. So, but at the time, I'm like, I can't believe one dude chirped at Zuko and he's just like, fuck it all, you know?
Yeah.
But then you think about when he's explaining like they're making metal together and like they can't exist without each other. I'm like, yeah, it'd be kind of fucked up to split them up now.
I didn't even catch that bit.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, why are they removing the colonies again? Like, is it that big of a deal? You know?
Yeah.
Like I get like they are like Fire Nation or whatever on like the Earth land, but
like you're literally like
where Zuko's
segregating.
coming from is that there's people like that have lived there like their whole lives, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like,
You just force them out, I guess.
yeah, that'd be fucked.
Also, if you're just like a normal person, like, what do you get to stay there and you only get kicked out if you're a firebender?
Yeah, you're like the cabbage man.
Yeah. Like, what he can't sell cabbages in both places.
He's got to move.
You're cutting out his business. You're fucking up the economy now.
Just think about
Aang.
all the tax paperwork he's got to redo.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, get out of here.
Dude, there's a part where like Toph licks Katara's hand for some reason. It was like a joke. Look how big her fucking tongue looks, dude. I looked at that and I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's why you keep calling her Toph.
Toph. Yeah.
So close to Toad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zuko, he, is afraid of getting attacked again or
Assassinated or something?
Attempted. I don't know. And so he gets some girls to watch him when he sleeps, but
they're
not any girls.
The Kyoshi Warriors.
The Kyoshi Warriors, of course, as bodyguards.
Yeah. One of the coolest parts of the show.
Easily. Yeah. One of the coolest designs.
Yeah. This is a sick warrior design.
Yeah. One of these bitches coming at you. You better watch out.
Yeah.
You better get out the way. Clear path.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody like cosplay something like that in like Comic-Con or something.
You know,
it would be kind of sick.
Suki, like the leader one.
Yeah.
You know how she wears like red sometimes?
Yes.
I saw someone cosplay as her last year.
Yeah.
And that was like the only Avatar
like
cosplay I saw.
I've probably seen like a Katara or something, but
yeah, there's always a couple Kataras.
But she's not it's kind of hard to recognize.
It's
just a Katara.
Someone wearing a lot of blue and they have the same hair.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Maybe they just have like a couple, like they're holding water in their hands. They're like, don't get close to me.
They just got a
water
bucket and they're just like fucking flicking people with it.
That would be funny. That's a good bit. Or like if someone cosplays Toph and they're just holding like some dirt.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Carries a rock around.
Can she can't bend sand, right?
Sure, she probably could.
But it's like not very effective, or I know she can't see in sand because she uses her dogs on the floor.
Yeah.
To like see around, but I can't remember if she could do anything with sand. Anyway, that was the end of chapter 1. Chapter 2, or part 2, Sokka and Toph decide to not watch Aang and Katara get all lovey-dovey with each other. So they leave to go to Toph's metal bending school. And her students were kicked out by some dude that has a firebending dojo there. And I guess that's what that building originally was. And they were trying to like take it back. And so they decide that whoever students can bend better in 3 days can keep the building in like a competition.
Dude, this dude calls Toph Dirt Girl. And I feel like that's such a burn.
Dude, I know.
I was like, no.
I feel like
it feels racist.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the like slurs between the kingdoms, I always think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, she's like, your master's about to teach this dirt girl a lesson. And like, it's bolded.
Dude, yeah.
So it's like, dirt girl.
Dirt girl, some lessons. And it's like, there's a bit of stank behind it.
Yeah, I know.
And I like that. Yeah, Aang and Katara, they stop on their journey and they meet like an Avatar Aang fangirl club. And I definitely think that like, if you could bend the elements, then like there would definitely be like element bending Riz that exists.
Sure.
And I think Aang definitely has that. Because he's always like doing some shit with like the air scooters that he makes, like little balls. And I think that's fun.
So when Zuko's like visiting his dad or whatever, like talking to him, like getting advice or whatever,
Yeah.
his dad like reminds him of their like family vacations in his childhood. I'm like, the Fire Lord's just going on family vacay.
I mean,
it just seems so,
everybody needs a vacation. Yeah.
they're like on a beach.
It does
with,
seem
like
a little weird.
and shit.
Yeah, it just seemed a little weird to just like leave the Fire Nation to just go to the beach somewhere.
Yeah. Like, I'm taking a PTO, like
Yeah.
taking the 7th through the 9th off.
I'm gonna teach my son a lesson about the circle of life or whatever happened.
Please hold down the fort.
Yeah. So Zuko, he keeps going to talk to his dad, Ozai, and he's like slowly being manipulated. And this scene, like for the chapter, ends in like Ozai telling him to like get out or like leave his presence, which I think is really funny because he's the one in like a cell.
Yeah.
So it's really funny that he's trying to like you're the one locked up, dude. Like you can't command this situation right now.
Yeah, it's like getting kicked out of your own house.
Yeah. It's
like,
it's
I live
funny.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Top students can't metal bend, so Sokka tries to help motivate them, and that doesn't work because obviously. So they try to scare them with Toph being in like a big metal mech thing.
Made out of like Fire Nation
metal and stuff to make them think that they're like in danger, and maybe that'll like, the emotions or whatever will help them bend, but then they get called out, so it doesn't work. I do like the idea though.
I feel like Sokka shouldn't be the one to help with like bender training,
Yeah.
Because like he doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be like speaking at like a women's conference or something as like a man. And it's like, this is how you navigate life as a woman, like, yeah. He's always been interesting because he just can't contribute with like bending in that way, but they've always found something for him to like do. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because if everybody was like really good at bending, then there's no one that like makes the whole situation feel like a little bit grounded.
There's like superheroes in this world, and a lot of people are like superheroes.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he didn't die.
Yeah. And my sister is, she can do all this shit, but I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I always thought that there was like that storyline with like when he was like dating the moon. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I always thought that was some prime Sokka stuff in the show. I should rewatch it. I also like the idea of like metal bending to make yourself like a mech suit. I don't think they do that enough with any of the elements. Like I feel like the Earth Kingdom could do that with just like rocks and stuff. Like make yourself look like the Thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And that'd be cool. But I think she's workshopped something that's like pretty valuable, like pretty viable.
It's got legs.
Yeah. So Aang and Katara talk to Earth King Kuei about Yu Dao, and Kuei decides he's done with the Fire Nation, and he orders to mobilize troops to Yu Dao to kick the Fire Nation out. And so Aang and Katara are like, oh shit, this backfired. So we should go back to Yu Dao and warn them. And then meanwhile, Toph almost gives up her school to the firebending dojo, but it turns out her students figured it out. They figured out metal bending.
Last minute. They crammed before the test.
Yeah, they crammed before the test, figured out how to metal bend some coins, and they knocked the teacher on his ass, so they get to keep the dojo, I guess.
When this part came, I'm like, I feel like they should have more stuff than just coins.
To like practice with?
They're throwing around. Like in the actual battle.
That seems like a good starting point, though, is some coins.
Sure, but if you get that, maybe, I don't know, bigger stuff.
Like what?
Like a knife.
What's bigger? I guess that's a good point. That seems like a
if they don't want to kill anyone.
You don't go from like coin to spear, but like, yeah, maybe a knife would work.
Or like a
like a throwing star.
Yeah, there you go. Better.
Yeah, that'd be good. I agree.
But it was a cool bit where like, the Fire Nation students, they're like, trying to make, I don't know, shields or something with their fire, and then like the coins just go through them and heat up the coins.
Yeah.
And so they just end up getting burned.
Surely they know that wouldn't work, right?
I guess I didn't think about it.
Like have they ever tried? Has that ever worked for them? That's maybe against water, but like that's
Maybe.
about it. You know. And
Yeah.
even then, I feel like it would still backfire on them.
Right.
So backfire, get it?
It really doesn't make sense that fire is just like in the air because it's not like feeding off of anything like a wick or something, you know? So it's like,
I think they're putting it there.
so
Like they don't like put it there and then let it go.
so if I'm like,
But you have to like focus on. It's like like
you have to like continue it, like it's some
Yeah.
sort of like gas burner thing.
yeah, I think so.
So if I pour water on someone's hand, then that would put out the fire.
Why is this an example that you just came up? Wait, how is that relevant?
It's because like, you know, if like, I don't know, that's just like when I'm thinking of like they have like a fire shield and you
Yep.
throw like a cup of water on them, it would, you know,
If,
it would
if there's enough water, it would cancel out the fire. Yeah.
right. But I'm just saying, like, it is, now that I think about it more, like, just fire being in the air
Mm-hmm.
is kind of weird
It is weird.
because it's not burning something, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks.
But it's also weird that people can control fire and water and shit too. So
That's not that weird.
yeah, no, I can believe that.
Just the fire I have a problem with.
Air's always been the lamest one, right?
Yeah. It proves
Like,
to be
it's-
more helpful, I guess.
Like if you're really good at air,
Maybe that's why all the airbenders are dead because, like, it just wasn't that
like it wasn't that
helpful.
sick.
Yeah.
Like
But I feel like
you could crush someone way easier with earthbending than I feel like you could with airbending.
I feel like with airbending, you could pose as like an earthbender in a way if you were just pushing stuff.
I think that has happened in the show where he's like lifting a rock with air. You know?
Yeah, airbending is more like the force,
Yeah.
kind of.
And then you could like fly. And that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Because he has his thing. But what bender do you think you would be?
Fire.
Dude, I thought you were going to be fire too.
Thanks.
I was thinking about this.
I get
Even though-
Slytherin too. Like, don't.
I think you're just a dick.
yeah. Exactly. So these questions are always very easy for me.
What would I be?
Just because you're wearing green, I feel like
You're also wearing green, to be clear.
Oh dang!
Not saying that's like wrong or whatever, but yeah, I was thinking about it too. Because if I say like, "Oh, I'm an airbender," does that mean like I'm
Yeah, you just
I'm
think you're
calling
the
myself
goat?
a main character?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I would be air, but
I think you'd be like an earthbender.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Especially with metal bending.
I feel like water bending, you have to be like, I don't know, kind of a sissy.
I
In a
think
way.
just more zen, maybe.
More zen. That's a better word.
Yeah, a sissy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of like super cool waterbenders from the show, you know, that like pop out. But like with Earth Kingdom, there was that like super old guy. Remember him?
Yeah, that
He
guy's
was cool.
awesome. He was crazy.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about him because whenever they said like the Earth King, I'm like, are they going to see that guy?
No, he died
Yeah.
under a big rock.
I figured something like that happened. Wow.
No, I don't think that's how he died. That would be funny though.
It was a suicide.
Dude, that probably happens.
I need to look it up.
Wait, can you burn yourself if you're a firebender?
Dude,
guess
Zuko
you could
has a burn on his eye.
Good point. Shit, you're right.
It's a super, yeah, no, people get fucked up by fire, even the firebenders. But you think it'd be like a Daenerys Targaryen kind of thing? We could like walk through fire and like be good,
Yeah.
you know? But because you're not fire, you're like controlling it,
Yeah.
you know? I kind of like that.
It'd be funny if all earthbenders had like no eyebrows.
It makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
why does anyone have facial hair?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a good block for Aang would be just to like blow the fire back at him, you know?
But then at
like
the
a
same
little
time,
blowback,
fire need oxygen to make big fire.
I know, but you push fire back at fire
back at
bender.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where were we?
One more question.
Yeah,
Do you
okay.
think you could, if I was a waterbender, could I drown?
Ooh, could you just like
Could I suck the
could you
water
push
out?
the water like out of like your lungs? You probably make like a little air bubble thing.
Unless
But
you're,
you'd probably
you'd
like,
create a vacuum. If you're like in the middle of the ocean and you push water out, it would
yeah,
create like a
you could
vacuum.
make like a little like head helmet thing.
But like if you're making it,
But you'd
air
run out of
bubble
oxygen, I think.
you would run out of oxygen. You'd have to capture air from above and bring it down. Because if you're in the middle of the ocean and you just create a pocket, it's like a vacuum. So your like eyeballs get fucking sucked out like in space. So you'd have to bring air from above.
I don't know how you know that, but
What do you mean? It's
what do you mean?
where did the air come from? If you're just in the middle of the ocean, you just create a,
there's oxygen in water.
yeah, and you need fucking gills to access it.
Well, maybe waterbenders are able to like separate the hydrogen atom from the oxygen and able to make
So they're
oxygen that way.
chemists now.
Kind of.
Yeah,
They're
I
kind of
guess-
all chemists in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like there's metal bending, you know?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of like the new powers that happen in the show, people would have figured out.
The new powers.
Like blood bending.
oh yeah,
That
sick.
was like season 2 or something,
yeah.
which is like still after like 100 years into the war. Like people would have figured that out. Same thing with earth bending, because they were like, metal is just earth, but really hot.
Yeah.
At one point, you know? So
Maybe it's just like
could you bend glass too? Because that's just sand.
so history's like written by the winners, you know?
Okay.
And the Fire Nation like ruled over like everything for like 100 years, right? It was like a century war or whatever.
So you think they hid that from people?
Yeah, they could destroy all documentation.
Mm.
They're very Nazi-like. They probably burning books and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
So
I accept that answer.
So a lot of these like practices could have been like completely erased.
Yeah.
So they have to just be like rediscovered.
Very interesting.
I bet
Okay.
there's a book about it.
There's probably a book about it. That Ozai burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. That was all my questions. Where were we?
Nice.
Zuko's girlfriend Mai leaves him after finding out he's been influenced by Ozai, which she found out from Suki, the Kyoshi warrior girl who snitched on him. And this is when he hears about Earth Kingdom mobilizing
Real
to
quick.
Yudao. What's up?
So Mai leaves or whatever, right?
Yep.
And like Zuko's like, but I love you. And she's like, you love your lies more. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
dude, I know that was cold. For a Fire Nation bitch, that was pretty cold.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's such a cool line. I
Yeah,
thought.
it was. Yeah. Because they do really... Gene like did really big like character moments, I feel like, in this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a cool point. And so right after that happens, he hears about the Earth Kingdom mobilizing to Yudao, and so Zuko's like, I guess fucking send my army too. And so now both of the armies are about to meet at Yudao. And we get like 2 pages of like Earth Kingdom army, and then there's a page for Fire Nation army. And I think it's really funny that like Earth Kingdom has a blimp and the Fire Nation has like naval ships.
Yeah.
It seems like a little bit, it would be like
So
the
the
other way.
Earthbender has air thing and Firebenders have water thing.
Like it makes more sense for Firebender to have hot air balloon because like fire shoots up into it.
I think
I do
I've
have-
seen that.
They do have it in this book, but just it's funny in this shot, they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're on naval ships.
Yeah.
So it'd be so cool to have a warship that was like pointy at the end like this.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. Super dope. And that was the end of part 2. So now part 3. So Aang has a dream sequence where he fulfills his promise of killing Zuko. And then he wakes up and he was like, oh shit. And then Aang and Katara arrive in Yudao to warn them about the many armies that are coming to them. And they get ambushed by both fire and earthbenders of the Yudao resistance who want to keep the nation together. And I like this action scene because we see the rock on a chain again, but we also see a bunch of axes being thrown. And since there's like metal benders now, they can throw axes and control the metal axes in the air, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one axe is thrown at him and then he like jumps into like jumps through a window and then it's like an axe factory.
Which is so funny. He's like, oh shit, I gotta take cover.
This is such like a Spider-Man moment. you
Yeah,
know?
it's like, let me go in this building, get away from the axes, and it's just an axe factory. It's really funny. So Aang meets with the Yudao chapter of the Avatar Aang fan club, and he gets offended when he finds out that they tattooed arrows on their head to be like him. So he feels like some cultural appropriation or some shit like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's funny, but I also think it's funny that it's
My culture's not your costume.
yeah, I think he says that pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think this design for these girls is really funny because they've shaved like the front part of their head, but they still kept their hair in the back.
Yeah, dude, they have some skullets.
They have the dude, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
When you have like the long hair, but you're like got the male pattern baldness.
Dude, that's such a sick name. I've never heard of that.
I actually heard that today, and I thought it was really funny. Yeah.
What was the context?
So my coworker's wife was getting her hair done. She only gets her hair done like once a year, and then he was like complaining about it. But he's like bald,
Okay.
you know. But like sometimes he doesn't like shave his head every day, and so she's on like a FaceTime, and she's like, "Sorry, I don't have a skullet." Like, that's really fucking funny.
That is hilarious. Yeah, that's exactly what they
If I
have.
ever start balding, I'm growing my shit out.
Dude, you gotta get a skullet.
Gotta go with the skullet.
Oh man, because a skullet's like the most extreme mullet you can get. You know,
Definitely. Like you're not giving up.
there's the shortest in the front and the longest possible in the back. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the party keeps going.
You better tattoo an arrow on your head then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zuko's still conflicted, and he's like, "This is what Ozai would be doing, but my reason is like a different reason, as if that fucking matters." And Aang is also conflicted because he wants his culture to be preserved as like an air nomad, but he also realizes that the four nations like used to be one and the same, so he doesn't like. He wants to separate them, but like they also used to be all living in harmony together, and so there's like conflicting feelings about that. And
At
anyway.
this point, I wasn't really sure who was right,
Yeah, which is
You
what I
know?
think is interesting.
which is cool. You can like kind of pick a side, but I was like, I feel like each side was properly represented to where like, I don't know really.
Because that's kind of how complicated. Like, there's no.
It's not biased in the writing.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is really interesting because I found myself flipping between. Because I was like, yeah, obviously get the Fire Nation out, and then you learn that they've been like living together this way like pretty peacefully already, and you're like,
Yeah, just leave them.
Yeah, just leave them. I don't know.
Just repaint it. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe just like mix red and green, you know?
Yeah, or get.
Also, like a lot of the red and green
What does
costumes.
red and green make? Blue?
No, I don't think so. Hold on. Let me fucking look it up.
Surely, right?
And it's like, what does red and green make? Oh, yellow.
Red and green makes yellow?
Yeah, look, here's.
No fucking way. I'll be damned.
I showed him.
Because like those are like two like dark colors, you know?
And it, like, why would it make. Well, I guess it would have
lighter
to be.
color.
Well, the way it is in here is also pretty. Like, they're pretty bright red and bright green colors for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, they should just pick a new color. Go with like magenta or some shit if you're
Purple,
both.
yeah.
Purple, yeah.
Very sweet. No one wants to attack a purple place.
But yeah, the point is like it's a pretty complex situation. So there would you can't just have like a one size fits all kind of solution.
Yeah.
But I do like the people in Udal who's dressed in both green and red because I'm like, this is a cool color combination.
Yeah.
Some Christmas,
Very Christmas.
very Christmas. And Suki from the Kyoshi picks up Sokka and Toph, and they go to the Fire Nation army like line, and they start like sabotaging their tanks. And then the freedom fighters try to enter Udao to get rid of the Fire Nation.
So how they do that is they have a battering ram
I love this part.
to take down the door.
Big door, yeah.
But Aang like, you know, crumbles it with his head, you know, and
That was pretty hard, yeah.
but that was a distraction from this gigantic machine that's digging into the walls. I don't know what this machine's called. It's like the underminer thing.
Yeah. The big like drill at the end of a car
yeah.
type thing. Yeah. But it's like 30 feet away from where they are.
Yeah. Like
And-
you could hear it.
And this dude's like, that was really a distraction to distract you from that fucking thing 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And I guess it worked because it got through. And I thought that was really funny. Like, why wouldn't he notice this? Like, yeah, it's just funny. The framing of this is funny. So the freedom fighters make it into the town. And then there's the Udao resistance people that are like trying to protect themselves. And then the Fire Nation army and the Earth Kingdom army show up like one after the other. And then Aang manages to get the Earth General dude talking, but then they realize that the Fire Nation was sabotaged. So the Earth Kingdom like takes this chance to start fighting them because that's just the smart thing to do, you know? Mm-hmm. And then Aang starts to go Avatar state, but Katara like stops him and he's like, go clear your head and think about this, which seems like a bad time to do this, you know?
Yeah, like you had plenty of time to think about your side.
Yeah, you've had like 4 days to be like, come up with some side and just stick with it, you know? My question is, has Katara always been able to do this like Frozone slide
I know,
thing?
I wrote that too. Like that's pretty sick. I think it's more, it's not, I don't think it's always ice. I think it is water sometimes.
I think she turns it into ice.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Which was is that new or surely that was the thing in the show, right? She figured out how to just turn things into ice.
I'm not sure.
Because really ice is just still water, if you think about it. So if she can make it still to make it like a solid.
Sure. Or I guess she could probably...
Could she make things gas too? I guess she would be able to.
Yeah.
I think the Frozone side's
Which
pretty
goes
cool,
back to that thing when you're underwater and like drowning, could you turn some of the water into like gas? Like mist in order to make oxygen?
You would
Because then
still
like...
suffocate, I think.
Do you know any scientists?
Sophie, I guess. She's practicing to become a nurse.
Nah.
But she hasn't seen the show, so.
She wouldn't get it.
Has Sarah seen Avatar?
She's seen like a few, like
But she never
growing
watched
up.
it as a kid.
No. We watched like the first couple episodes while eating once and then never came back to it.
Yeah, those first few are... It's like it's
It's a little lengthy.
it takes a little time to cook.
Yeah.
I feel like.
You're not at the meat quite yet.
Yeah, but then like
You have to earn it.
then Appa like gets lost and you're like, well, fuck, this sucks. And then like you get the Kyoshi warriors. There's that one.
I just feel like I've like experienced the first like a couple episodes like a lot,
Yeah.
and like
Although the secret tunnel episode's like not very far.
secret
in.
tunnel.
Yeah. I like stumbled upon that episode
Wait,
accidentally.
what secret tunnel?
The secret that's from this show.
What do you mean?
The secret tunnel song.
No way.
Yeah, it's from Avatar.
Oh god, I have to go back now.
Dude, it's season 1, like first 10 episodes, I think.
Sometimes I watch things because they're memes, I'm like, I have to know where this comes from.
You're so brave for that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, think about when like The Boys season 3 came out and all the sound bites that are coming from that.
Yeah.
And like Sarah's never watched The Boys, so she just doesn't know what this is from.
So she sees something like this is a meme.
Yeah. And then
Does she hear like that like off-putting violin music? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, this is just a song someone made.
Oh, that's a TikTok song from
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok.
Homeland's like, yeah.
Yeah,
She just got no clue.
Yeah.
I think she's like that.
It is funny to experience pop culture that way. Like it's been fucking burned into your mind
Yeah.
through like TikTok memes, and then you watch the source material and you're like, I don't even know if I like it because I recognize that as a meme or if I just like it in general,
Why not have both?
True. That's a good
Or
point.
like you like it and then just have the kicker of it being a meme.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Secret Tunnels from Avatar.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like they posted the full song on TikTok too.
What was the episode about?
They needed a way to get into somewhere and there was a secret tunnel.
Did you see in this?
They
Like
met
Toph
some dudes.
makes like a tunnel
Yeah.
into the ground. And
Yeah.
they like slide down it
That's pretty cool.
so that they can get into some tanks.
That seems pretty OP.
Yeah, you could go like anywhere through some tunnels.
Yeah.
You could make a tunnel and make it just real smooth and you could skate down it,
This is true.
And you could fast track. And then if you need more speed, just dig deeper.
I guess you could get anywhere with any of the elements except for fire maybe. But like if you're trying to like
just
go
like
across
point
the ocean.
down and you're like a rocket.
Oh, true. Wait,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, shoot fire out of your feet and you're like a rocket.
Yeah, you're like Iron Man.
Yeah. Wait, do you think that works?
Water?
Water, you can just
kind of
like
surf, but with like
do
your
like a
feet.
Frozone thing and just have like the waves push you super fast, like a tsunami.
Frozone always looked like he was like sprinting though. I'm like, it looks tiring.
Yeah, it does look like you can't go very, very far. You can't go like more than a couple football
I'm not good
fields.
at ice skating either. Like,
Yeah, what if he slips?
I would fall off my own. Like,
That'd be so funny to be like a waterbender, but you're not good at like ice skating. You're like, oh shit, and you
Yeah.
like fall on your ass a couple times.
exactly.
That's funny.
I want to watch Incredibles now.
I know, but yeah, surely he can't move more than like a couple football fields doing that because he's like sprinting. He's like
Yeah.
speed skating.
'Cause,
a lot of
like,
the time.
It's not moving you. You're just
Yeah.
making a path for yourself.
Yeah, and you're moving yourself. But I feel like in this sense, you could just create like a little plate under you and just push that plate. Kind of like how like Mr. Miracle moves around sometimes. He has like those little circles
The
under him.
little discs. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever those are. Or like, doesn't Static Shock
Aren't they
do
called
that?
like miracle discs or something?
That sounds right.
Anyway.
Didn't Static Shock move with like a little thing on
Yeah,
him?
it was like a trash can lid or something.
That's pretty sick.
And like he just rode it like a
Is that true?
snowboard. Did he
Interesting.
fly? Yeah, he just kind of used static electricity to like fly.
That's stupid.
Good show though.
Yeah, good show. Fuck, where are we? It's so fun to talk about this.
Big battle.
Yeah, Aang leaves in the middle of the fight to go meditate. which he like goes to some impossible place to get to, and then he like buries himself in it. He creates like a rock cocoon, which I think is interesting.
Yeah,
But the way I wish they would have done this scene is he gets overwhelmed, maybe like a little bit emotional. He goes into the avatar state, and then maybe he talks to Roku in that state. And I think that would work a little bit better than him leaving to go focus on talking to Roku.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just idea like that I came up with.
Slippery slope, you know?
Why?
Like being in the avatar state.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets out. Unless, I guess, Katara's going to tackle him or something. But
yeah. Most of the time, he's in the avatar state. Someone like stops him.
Okay.
Which is, he's like the Hulk.
Ah.
So Aang
It's funny that dude's name's Roku.
I know. Now it's just like a big fucking stick company or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a smart TV stick thing.
Yeah. So he talks to Roku, and Roku's like, "What's your Netflix password?" Roku drops the bombshell that fucking Zuko is his great grandson, which is weird. A weird way. Like, was that known before?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Because it seems like a big deal. Like, can he bend air?
Because I don't think there's anything about in the show about his mom really, or where she's at.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a cool reveal.
Because like,
but it seems too big for like a comic.
Being an avatar isn't like genetic, right?
I don't
it's just
think
kind
so,
of a chosen one kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's not like Zuko was supposed to be like an avatar.
But yeah, exactly. Because anyway, so there's like a bunch of fighting. So the Kyoshi warriors are in there. Tough students are like helping. I don't know how they get there. Sokka is like distracting the freedom fighters. The Yu Dao resistance there. This is like that time when there's like so many different perspectives in like the end, and it's like hard to keep track of really. But Aang bursts out of his like little cocoon he made, and he's in the avatar state, and everybody kind of like looks at him and they're like, oh shit, maybe we should stop. Zuko almost dies by falling into like a big crack in the earth, but Aang saves him. And because all that happened, he
made the crack.
He made the crack, and then Zuko falls in and he has to go save him. And that's all he does in the avatar state, which I think is a little bit weird. But everything like calms down enough for him to be able to talk to the Earth King and show him like what he's trying to break up.
Dude, the crack thing goes all the way around the city. And I thought he was going to move it.
I thought that's, dude.
I thought he was just going to move the city.
I thought it was going to be like a Magneto moving the fucking stadium type shit.
Or like Avengers Age of Ultron when like...
Sokovia?
Yeah, Sokovia just like lifted up. I'm like, this is crazy.
That would be great. Yeah.
This is a pretty good solution because they can move out of the Earth Nation.
Oh, you don't want them there? I'll fucking move them.
What do you want?
That would be hilarious if that was actually what he came up with. It doesn't solve anything really, but it's just
I think
funny.
It solves everything.
No, it doesn't, because there's still Fire Nation in a place where they don't want
to keep their houses. It's out of the Earth Nation,
out of sight, out of mind.
And then like the people that are there don't care,
dude. So this is a good solution.
But it seems like it'd be kind of hard. Like
he would have to do it like over a couple sessions, I think.
Yeah, need a couple breaks.
Yeah.
He looks so cool when he's in the avatar state and there's like the elements like flying around him or whatever.
I know. He's like surrounded with like rings of fire and water and stone.
The water's it's less represented, it feels like, than the other elements, but
I feel like rock is less represented. Because when I see this, I see like the two rings, but it's hard to make like those stones look like a ring, you know?
Yeah.
While also telling that it's like stone.
It's just like an asteroid belt.
Yeah.
There's like a Funko Pop of him doing this, and it's so expensive. Like,
really? Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty neat.
At first, I thought Zuko was trying to like kill himself. Did you think that too?
I saw the foot, but he seemed very okay with how he's falling.
He wasn't like, because he wasn't like screaming for help. He just kind of like was like, all right. We find out later
like,
he was like. We find out later he was like kind of okay with dying because of his decisions or whatever. But yeah. So anyway, it cuts to like a couple days later, and Aang tells Roku that this is some like New World shit, so he can't use his rules, like Roku's rules, to apply things anymore. So that shows some growth. And then Zuko is with Uncle Iroh, who's been alive this whole time. I thought he was dead.
And who invented a boba milk tea?
Boa milk?
A boba milk tea.
Oh, he invented boba?
That's what they're saying in this.
Dude, I didn't even realize that.
Dude, how? Did you not read this?
I did read it, and I was like, I think I was like, okay, I'm almost done, you know? What is that trying to sneak into my mouth? Yeah, you're right. This is totally boba.
First, I cook balls of tapioca until they're soft and tender. Then I put them in tea where they sit like little pearl-sized snacks at the bottom of each cup.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Add a little milk and ta-da, a revolution is in tea is born. So like,
I don't know how to make fucking boba. I didn't know it was tapioca.
I didn't know you had to cook something.
Yeah, I didn't either. But that means that he's like a billionaire now because boba shops are everywhere now. So if he patents that correctly,
I don't remember the last time I saw a boba place, but
dude, they're everywhere. Just open up your eyes a little bit.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I totally missed that. So that's funny. Yeah, so basically they're just like, yeah, we're going to talk about it now and figure out how to handle this. And that's how that whole conflict ends. But then Aang starts to teach air nomad culture to regular people. So his culture will continue, which is pretty nice. And then the cliffhanger is that Zuko still wants to find out what happened to his mom. And he's like, well, my dad's not going to help me. So he goes to his crazy sister Azula for help. And that's the cliffhanger. Banger.
Yeah. I
thought it was weird that Zuko never went to Uncle Iroh at all for any reason. Like he
wanted to be left alone.
Iroh did?
Yeah, like out of like the politics and stuff. He just wanted to make tea and stuff.
That's true. I think he's deserved that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time where they were just like, it was just like just them two and they were just like walking through the forest or whatever?
No.
And then Zuko cuts off his ponytail and puts it in the river?
No.
Oh. I always...
And then somehow he had like a full head of hair.
Hey, yeah, true. That's right.
Like, wait a minute.
Wait, where did that come from?
I was kind of looking forward to Zuko dying at the end of this.
Dude, that would have been crazy.
Because the whole thing is called The Promise. And at the very beginning, there's the promise that Aang would take out Zuko if he started acting like his dad. And he started acting like his dad. I'm like, here it comes.
Yeah.
Almost there. And then it never happens, which I think is more correct for this Nickelodeon property. But
that would have been sick if he died, though.
That would have been crazy. Like, what if like the...
And then like Ozai comes
the comics
back?
are just a huge departure from the show.
Dude,
it just
that'd
goes
be
so
good.
intense.
Like, well, did this comic come out before the Katara show, Legend of Korra? Because I think Zuko's in that. I want to say, and that's when they're older. I never watched Korra.
I'm sure nothing in the comics would actually affect anything in the show.
That's why I'm asking. Like, because if they didn't know, if Korra wasn't a thing yet, then they have like free reign to do whatever. So they could have killed Zuko maybe. But I think if Zuko is in Legend of Korra, then like they probably can't kill anybody that's in that show.
This came out in 2022, so.
Ooh, yeah. So Korra's definitely
don't stress.
It did?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought these were like older.
So this one must be like super new. Well, it's rated E, so probably not any killing. There's like some violence.
No one
and
dies,
stuff.
huh?
Yeah.
Lame. Anyway, let's go into Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters. All right, I'll show you my back matter.
Yeah, I don't have any back matter.
So we got some covers and stuff.
Yeah.
They're pretty sick. This one's cool.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
And then we got some sketches for like the covers and stuff.
Sure.
And character designs. We get...
They're like, I used the show.
Yeah, more sketches, characters. They'll do like the... In here somewhere, they got the roughs to like the pencils to the inks.
Whoa.
Which is always fun.
So is it like the pencils that really nail down the show feel, or is it the inks that
it's definitely
cements it?
Well, you can see it in the pencils, but you know, the inks just kind of clean it up.
Yeah.
What's cool is that you can see like these different, like the changes that are made from like pencils to inks.
Yeah.
Like the panels change like completely, which I think is crazy. Maybe they just kind of rotate some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was crazy. Like you have like a page and it's perfectly fine, but like then they're like, no, let's just like move some stuff around.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed. I think the characters have like slightly different clothes because it's kind of like a newer era.
It's like a year from when the end of Avatar happened. So
yeah, so their drip is a little updated, which is neat. And yeah, that's it.
Cool.
So really solid back matter considering.
Yeah, it has all the stuff you like in it. So what would you rate this book?
So Nathan, I looked up some foods that are in Avatar, some weird foods that they have.
How many cabbages do you rate this?
I give this 5 out of 5 cabbages.
5 completely undamaged cabbage stands.
But no, there is something called an air nomad fruit pie, which looks really good. It kind of looks like strawberry shortcake kind of thing.
Okay.
You see that?
Looks like the poop emoji.
A little bit. You can scroll through that and pick something through that if you want.
Okay.
You can scroll to the top to see the...
All right. So we have Fire Flakes. That's just...
It sounds like Takis.
It's just... Yeah. Bean curd puffs. And it shows a picture of a lady.
Yeah, you don't have to like read up everything.
Oh, lychee nuts. That's what I'll go with.
Lychee nuts?
Yeah, that's one that Momo really liked.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll go with that because I really like this. And I had multiple because...
You had multiple lychee nuts?
Wait, there's onion banana juice. I never heard of that.
Ew, dude.
So that's what I would have picked if this was shitty. But I think this is a couple lychee nuts.
They have an egg custard tart. That's probably Gaines.
It must be, right?
Yeah, it sounds like an omelet, but with like like a dessert.
Yeah, with some sugar maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, cool.
Yeah, this is great. I just wonder how this could apply to any other show that or like property that I like with like and have a similar kind of treatment, you know.
I think you just have to have the team behind it, like a very established writer like Jin Luen Yang, and you know, an artist that can like do artwork that's super inspired, not necessarily like copying, but like you can tell there's like no like tracing.
Yeah,
but it also is very close to where nothing's really lost.
Yeah, Guri Huru is like super close to the show, but he's also very like flexible with making whatever poses and stuff that he needs.
Yeah,
so I think it was cool. Like I could see this kind of thing happening to like a Danny Phantom.
Dude,
property.
Danny Phantom comic could be sick.
It's probably out there, but yeah, like something like that I think would be kind of cool.
I mean, there's like Scooby-Doo comics.
Yeah, this is true.
So, yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, very cool.
So, yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
It's not like a taxing read. Like it flows pretty well. Like the pacing's pretty great.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you're like familiar with like the content, then it's a good ride.
Yeah, I agree.
So, should we get into the poll list?
Shove it in your box.
The poll list. What did you shove in your box? What you got going on this week?
I haven't gone to the shop, but what I know I'm going to pick up is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League comic written by John Layman, friend of the show. That comes out because the game came out. Batman comes out.
142?
Begins Joker year 1.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. There's How to Lose Guy Gardner in 10 Days, the Valentine's Day book.
Nice.
I'm going to pick that up and read it.
Oh, speaking of the Joker year 1, that's all going to come out this month.
Oh, shit.
All those issues.
I should really catch up on Batman.
Yeah, I know. So it was supposed to be like a break for Jorge to kind of catch up or get ahead or something.
Oh, okay.
But I guess the editor like kind of got spooked that there's going to be like 3 or 4 issues with no Batman in it in the Batman book.
Ooh.
So they're just like, let's just put it all out in the same month.
That's probably smart. So is there a different artist for each issue?
I don't know. It might have been done and then they just released it that way.
Yeah, they would have to know that
Is
that
Chip
was happening.
doing the art?
No.
No, right? Okay.
No.
Just some covers.
There's covers that he's doing. Yeah. I think there's a different Joker thing coming out that he's doing as well. Or maybe that was just this, but...
Nathan, speaking of Valentine's Day specials, there is Godzilla Valentine's Day special that's coming out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It looks fucking cool. I'll show you the cover.
Wait, who does he fall in love with?
I think there's like a love story within like a Godzilla attack.
Interesting.
Which is genius.
I was like, is there Girlzilla or something?
I would love that more, honestly.
It's just like Godzilla, but with like coconut bra. Wait, that looks awesome.
Doesn't that look cool?
Who does the art? That looks like a Bruno Redondo cover. But
it does. It looks kind of like a YA book.
I love that idea, dude. I'm so glad Godzilla got like super popular.
Danny Pendergast did the cover.
Okay.
Written by Zoe Tunnel.
Okay. I think
so. I wonder.
I've heard of the artist, but
I wonder who's doing like the actual art on it. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that sounds great. I might pick that up.
Are you getting Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees?
I missed issue 2.
Did not have 2 at the shop.
Is number 2 coming out?
No, 3.
Okay. I really do want to continue that because I was really interested in the world, but I might look for it in the shop. It might have come out when I was on my trip, on my cruise.
Yeah.
So I'll look for issue 2, and if I can find it, I'll pick up issue 3.
Nice.
If not, I'll probably just buy 2 digitally because it is like that good.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm also going to pick up Gone, number 2 by Jacques.
Oh, yeah. Got to finish 1, but I think I liked it. Anything else?
That's it. I think, wait, maybe Green Lantern comes out. I can't remember.
There's The One Hand by Ram B, that image book that's coming out.
That cover looks so good.
It does look really cool. I don't know. What was it like
I have no idea what it is.
it was like a supernatural crime thing or something.
That sounds great.
It looked neat.
Love me some Ram V.
There's a trade that came out this week. It's called Barkham Asylum. And it's about the Joker's dog.
He has a dog?
I guess so.
Wait, what kind?
His name's like Jester or something.
Nah, what kind of dog is he?
I don't fucking know.
He might have a pit bull because they have big fucking mouths.
Who's a good boy? Jester is. He looks like a boxer.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that's a weird fucking dog. Probably a boxer.
Yeah, like a light colored boxer, or maybe like a German Shepherd.
Do you think
kind of
he
thing.
fell in the same vat of acid?
I don't know, but I kind of want to read this.
It looks
But
pretty fun.
this is like a trade.
It's a full trade.
Yeah, a trade came out
Should we read Barkham Asylum?
at some point. Write it down.
That'll
Or,
be
hold on.
part of Animal Month.
Yehudi Mercado. So I wonder if it's like a
It could be like a manga.
manga. That'd be interesting. Anyway, there's that came out, and I thought that was interesting.
When we do Animal Month with Pet Avengers and Lockjaw
Animal Month.
and Howard the Duck.
Hell yeah. He's not a pet, Nathan.
True.
Ace the Bat Hound.
Ace the Bat Hound trade.
Crypto.
There's got to be a crypto trade somewhere,
Sure.
right? Yeah.
And also, shout out to Drew.
Oh, also, it's Jeff. Remember, it's Jeff?
Yep. Is he a pet?
He's a pet. Yeah, he's a
Anyway,
pet too.
We'll figure it out. And then we'll do We 3.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my God.
Pet month. I'll write it down.
Because I do really want to read We 3.
Okay. So last thing I got, this is just last time I went to the shop, but I was talking to Drew a couple of weeks ago about like Garth Ennis. We talked for like an hour about
really?
Garth Ennis books.
Oh, that's fun.
And he told me about just like books that he liked by him. Cause I think Garth is like his favorite writer.
That's weird.
You know,
If you're listening to this, Drew,
to each his own.
do better. I'm just kidding.
No, cause he like
No,
read all
Garth.
of his like 90s stuff, you know?
Yeah,
And I think Preacher is like his favorite book.
that's fair. Yeah.
So, but anyway, he threw this book into my box. It is The Demon, number 40,
Oh, yeah.
which is the first issue of Garth Ennis's run on Etrigan the Demon.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so
That looks really cool.
he didn't tell me he was putting this in there, but when it was like in my box and handed to me, I'm like,
Who did the art?
I think it's John McCree.
Okay. It looks like a Sam Keith cover almost.
Yeah, a little bit. And so, yeah, he talked about this. And so he just threw that in there.
Sweet. Yeah. You haven't read it yet?
No.
Okay. Nice. Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
very thoughtful of him.
Yeah, definitely. He
Good
does
job,
that
Drew.
sometimes.
He's just trying to get money off you.
It's working.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Like when people like pick stuff for me, that's a different kind of love.
That
you know?
is. Yeah. We only do that like once a year.
I think
on
I'm in love with
Christmas.
Drew.
No one's ever given me a comic except for you.
Yeah.
So,
and when I do, it's not like for you. It's kind of for me, you know?
yeah. Actually, no, I got an issue of Thor when he like turned into a cow for some reason from Parker once. That's the only
Nice.
other time I've been given a comic.
Parker got me either like a book that he knew I liked or a book he was trying to get me to read because he liked it, you know?
A comic or like a manga?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Like he got me that Doom Patrol Deluxe.
Oh.
So he knew I liked that. And then he got me like Goodnight Pun Pun, which is something he just kept telling me to read.
Yeah, that's right. He
So-
tried to get me to read that too, so you're not special.
But he knew I'd read it
Yeah, this is true.
anyway.
Did you ever read that Doom Patrol? Or what Doom Patrol was it? Was it like,
It was the Gerard Way run,
Oh,
and it
okay,
was
cool.
deluxe of like his whole run,
wow,
which is neat.
that's cool.
With
Good
Nick
gift.
Darrington, Bruce Hook,
Yeah, good gift.
definitely. And I haven't gone past like the trade that we reviewed like 10 years ago. Did you watch anything or did you read anything?
I have not. Well, I read some Green Lantern because I'm catching up. So
Cool. I don't care. What'd you watch?
it's a very good run so far. They're doing some good Green Lantern things and some that I'm just confused about. I think Sinestro's yellow power ring just randomly turned into a red power ring, and I'm interested on how that happened, but I haven't caught up yet, so I don't want to get mad at it. So they're
mood rings now?
I guess so. I don't know. So I don't want to get mad at it yet because I want to read how he resolves that. Because
they have to explain themselves.
I'm like 2 issues behind, so I don't know. But anyway, that was the only thing I read, and I'm just continuing on Game of Thrones. I haven't watched anything new or played anything new. What about you?
I watched a movie called May December.
Those are 2 different months.
Yep. Actually, give me 1 second. I don't want to misspeak about this.
Did you write down your review and you're going to read your review, or?
No, I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah, I know.
So May December, it's like a Netflix movie. It's like kind of loosely based about this like teacher, Mary Kay Letourneau, who had like a sexual relationship with a 6th grader.
Whoa.
A student, Vili Faulau. And she ended up being pregnant from that interaction and was like pregnant in jail.
Whoa.
And stuff like that. And so this is kind of fast forwarding like 20 years into the future.
From that?
Like,
okay.
So it's in that part, but this is something that happened in the past.
Okay.
It's got Natalie Portman, who is
she the teacher?
An actor. No, she's an actor who is staying in town, like where they live, and like interviewing her because she's going to be playing her in a movie.
This is what the movie's about?
That's what the movie's about.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a little bit of a
bit of a meta.
Pretty meta. And so they have like Julianne Moore, who is like 60, I think, currently, and then Charles Melton as like the kid who's like grown up, and he's like 33.
So the age difference between them is supposed to mimik what it was.
Right.
Okay.
And so this is like where they, they're married, they have children.
Wait, the 2 of them are married?
They like stay together. Like he like waited for her to get out of like prison and whatnot, and then like continue like their lives together.
Wow. You'd think that would be like part of the probation or something.
Something like that, or restraining order or whatever. And so Natalie Portman's like trying to like learn about her and to be able to like portray her well in like this movie that they're going to do. And so many scenes in this are so tense because they're like a little defensive about their situation. And she's just trying to like learn more about it.
Yeah.
To portray her well and just kind of think the way she was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something you can't really like defend, you know?
Yeah.
And so
it's weird to be like understanding of their situation.
Right.
Because it's weird.
Yeah. And so you just kind of see this like bizarre life that they have because the teacher was married and had kids prior to that relationship. And her kids were like the same age as him.
Yikes.
Which is weird. So like currently her kids are like as old as like her husband. And then her grandkids are as old as her kids with like her kids. Yeah.
Whoa.
Are as old as her current kids.
Man, I bet Thanksgiving goes crazy.
I don't think they have Thanksgiving really, but like they run into each other at like a restaurant, and I'm like, this is crazy.
I think the art of the movie seems like navigating any sort of conversation with family or people involved in that situation would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like navigating that seems crazy.
It got nominated for some stuff, and it kind of had like a documentary like feel to it. I think they changed the names or whatever, but you know what case they're referring to.
What case?
I told you their names. That was their
real
names.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I knew like Sarah would be into it. And I think she saw the trailer and she was interested.
Okay.
But yeah, super good. Or I don't know, super good. It was like interesting and good.
Yeah.
And
so what does the movie make you feel about them now? You know?
Still kind of weird. Like, she's kind of...
Do they act weird?
Yeah, they really show like kind of how like unreasonable like the teacher is.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that there is like some unresolved trauma with like the husband.
Totally.
You know, so that was pretty well represented. And
because like if they obviously like the circumstances they met, super unethical.
Right.
There's a weird power dynamic there.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they would try and pass it off. Because like if they met at the age that they were now as consenting adults, that's fine. you
Yeah.
know? But them, I could see how them trying to justify like what they did. Because it's like,
right. And
yeah,
then you
I know,
like,
it's very interesting.
Then
to,
you have like kids who are like growing up
And that's
with
fucked up.
that. And like, they just kind of have to
yeah.
deal with that. And also like kind of defend or not like defend, but like be on like their parents'
Yeah,
side
'cause
because that's like their parents,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow.
So it's just very, very strange.
Very strange.
But yeah, so that was like what was like interesting about it.
Because always, if you see like a couple with like a fairly significant like age difference, but obviously they met when they're consenting adults, they would always be like, "Oh, when I was in high school, you were in fucking 8th grade or whatever." Like, but it's just like it's just that. you
Yeah.
know? So it's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so
What else?
we finished It Takes Two.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that the frog thing that you sent me?
Yes.
Okay.
There's some frogs talking.
Yeah, and you ride the frogs.
Yeah, you read the frogs around. And
I was like, yeah, I do remember that vaguely.
it's very brief.
Yeah. What'd you think?
You just jump and stuff. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll miss it. You know, I don't know if we'll like replay it or whatever, but it was a very good like thing for both of us.
The same studio made a game called A Way Out.
So I bought like a bundle that has that.
Oh, okay. I think that's a good time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
different like vibe because you're trying to escape prison with somebody else.
Right.
And so there's like parts where you're trying to like dig out of your cell, but like the other person's watching for guards, stuff like that, you know?
That sounds tense.
Yeah. And so like there's parts that are more like tense, but then there's like parts of it that feel like, okay, what are we doing, you know, right now? But yeah, I think it's a fun game. So I would definitely recommend checking that out.
Yeah, so I got that. So we'll probably give that a shot. Or
It's still very fun at
we
first.
might like take turns playing like what was that show with Pedro Pascal?
Game of Thrones,
The other one.
Mandalorian.
The new one.
Last of Us.
Last of Us. I'm like the last ones? Or-
Yeah, you do have a PS5, so you could, and both of them are remastered. Or
I know, dude. They're like fucking $70 right now.
yeah,
Because
that's
I don't
true.
know if you can buy like the old one, you know?
That's a good point.
So
Maybe
it's
that's why
just
they fucking did it, the fucking greedy bastards.
yeah, those bitches.
The remaster is pretty impressive though, so it's not like you're paying for
I have
shit.
nothing to compare it to. So
Yeah,
anyway, we did that. And good game.
yeah.
What are we gonna read next week?
Very
So what are we reading next week, Nathan?
good. What are we reading next week?
Should we do a book for Black History Month?
What do you have in mind?
Do
There's like
a book by a black creator with black characters, stuff
Sure.
like that.
yeah. Do you have one in mind?
You know, Bitterroot would be a really good one to do.
We already did Bitterroot.
I know. There's always Farmhand.
Dude, we should do Farmhand. Yeah, I would love that.
That was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Farmhand.
Cool. Farmhand.
That sounds cool.
Good book.
Yeah.
Should probably finish that anyway.
I should probably finish it as well. It's not done yet, though, right? He's like,
I think it's done.
I don't know. I should catch up.
It ended on like 18, didn't it?
I think he did a hiatus to work on his newest book,
Mosley.
Mosley. Yeah. Does it have a trade?
Oh, should we do Mosley?
I don't know if it has a trade yet.
Because
I think it should.
it came out like a minute ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mosley, Rob Guillory, Sam Lotfi.
We should see if you'd want to come on.
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck the Kindle app, dude. I don't want a real writer named Mosley. I'm trying to get the comic book.
Yeah, it came out in September.
Sweet. Yeah, we should. I'll send him a message, I guess.
149 pages. Yeah, because I was thinking like, oh, Mosley's all in Comixology.
Let's go.
The individual issues, though. Not like the trade.
Oh, fuck. All right, yeah. I think we should do this.
Cool. I like it. Yeah, because I think Farmhand got picked up, so maybe we can read that like if it ever comes out.
Yeah. I think he is trying to keep control of it. I think John Layman was telling us a little bit about it.
Yeah, he's writing the pilot, I think,
Yeah, which is cool.
which is good.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Farmhand?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems.
There's a lot of fun you could do with it, like from like a makeup perspective and stuff as well. I feel
Yeah,
like.
and like effects and shit.
Yeah, because like The Walking Dead, obviously very popular because of some of the makeups and effects. Same thing with Last of Us.
Makeups.
Some of the makeups that they did.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Mosely by Rob Guillory
Cool. I like it.
of Farmhand and Chew fame.
Sounds good.
All righty.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Send us an email. What
bender would you be?
What bender would you be and why?
Which one's the coolest?
Or what do you think me and Nathan would be if you think our assessment was wrong?
Yeah. Yours is definitely right. I'm a little up in the air. I don't know. tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. Linktree in the bio. Go like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if I said that. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like.
5 stars. How about that?
5 stars would also be great.
That'd be neat. That'd be neato.
We could be a 5-star thing just like the Avatar book was.
Yeah. Whether you think we deserve it or not.
Give us 5 stars and then give us your actual rating in the comments. Be like, so rate us 5 stars, but be like, actually, they're like a 3.5.
Yeah.
You know,
they're like borderline 4, but you know.
Yeah, but not quite.
All right, cool.
All right. Peace.
Goodbye.